afternoon, and now it's time for this afternoon's session of Children's GBC with George Buxton, as he gets to present some programmes today, including a penultimate episode of Four Ways Farm. And of course, this coming Friday, which is coming up this week, is the last ever episode of it. But back to today, here's Tuesday, Children's GBC.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Children's GBC on a fine Tuesday afternoon. Alright then, viewers. Now, if you remember this morning when George Buxton, well, sadly, when he had to broadcast the last Sodor Railway Tales 80th anniversary editions, made by the books from the Reverend Wilbur Awdry's, and I know that George Buxton did mention that the Christopher Awdry ones will have to be shown at a later date. That's right, isn't it, George Buxton?
Yeah. They'll come when they'll come.
Yeah, of course. So, anyways, back to today. So here's Four Ways Farm, and here we are on the 24th and the penultimate episode of Four Ways Farm. And today's episode is called...
Four Seasons?
Oh, yes. Now, because the next programme now is Four Ways Farm, and today's episode is called Four Seasons. So I know what that is. Spring, summer, autumn and winter. So that's what they'll learn all about today in Four Ways Farm.
Oh, the wind blows east and the wind blows west on Four Ways Farm. The animals all have had their rest on Four Ways Farm. The animals wake up one by one and say hello to the morning sun. Work to do and jobs to be done on Four Ways Farm.
Morning, Davenport.
On Four Ways Farm.
And that was Four Ways Farm. So yeah, they've learned all about the four seasons really, so that was pretty good. Now the next one now is The New Adventures of the Shoe People. Now today's episode is all about Sergeant Major has lost his voice. Oh my goodness, I think he might be shouting too much. So will his friends be able to help him speak again if he gets medicine? Let's find out. The New Adventures of the Shoe People. Well, let me tell you one thing. I'm so glad that Sergeant Major has managed to get his voice back with a bit of help from his friends. Because otherwise, at least Charlie or the others won't have to put up with his shouting voices as much. Anyways, the next one now is Playdays. And today's episode is called Playdays Magazine. Oh, and that takes place at the Wirebird stop, by the way. Now, if you're wondering what a magazine is like, well, it's like a book, but except you get loads of fun activities and sometimes comic strips. Just like Beano's, but I don't think there'll be Beano in today's episode of Playdays though. But I'm sure you'll be able to see some other magazines which you'll see in this episode of Playdays today.
It's a play bus! But where does it go? Where does it stop? Watch for the sign of the lollipop. Stop!
What do you think, why?
Right, turn over. Oh, look at that one.
Playdays. So it turned out that the Playdays magazine was being printed out from a big printer. And yes, they even had to use the coloured printer to print out some beautiful colours. Right, so the next one now is going to be Super Mario World. And today's episode is all about Gopher Bash. And I am not talking about Gordon T. Gopher for some reason. So because it's all about Cheesy, the little Koopa was trying to steal some crops from the cave people. So will Mario, Luigi and Yoshi get them back? Let's find out.
Super Mario, Super Mario, Super Mario World.
Super Mario World, it's a blast from the past. In Super Mario World, you got to move fast. Mario and Luigi are doing what they can. Yoshi and the princess are giving them a hand.
Super Mario World.
Super Mario World, it's a blast from the past. In Super Mario World, it's a blast.
You think that gophers are really cool animals, you know, the ones that you've dug up the burrow? And also sometimes hedgehogs usually sleep during the winter. But not Sonic the Hedgehog though, and he's here next on Children's GBC.
Super Mario World. Well, let me tell you one thing. I'm so glad that the cave people has got some crops back. All thanks to Super Mario, Super Luigi and Yoshi. Except the fact that Yoshi has eaten all the crops and he was punished to mow the dirt this time to grow some more. So anyways, moving on from Mario to Sonic. And today's episode is called Untouchable Sonic. I wonder what it means by that. Let's find out. The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. And yeah, so Sonic was untouchable. Anyways, that's the last programme. And that's pretty much about it for this afternoon on Children's GBC. And I'll be back again on Friday morning. And just a reminder, don't worry, So Do Railway Tales, the 80th anniversary edition, will be back when time comes with Christopher Aldry. And I'm sure you'll stay tuned for that. Bye everyone. See you soon. Goodbye.
This is GTV, and now it's time to head on down to Summer Bay now in this week's episode of Home and Away.